Hi friends, welcome to DTK Food and Travels. Today we're going to visit the Topkapi Palace in Istanbul, Turkey. This palace served as the primary residence and administrative center of the Ottoman sultans for nearly 400 years, from the 15th to the 19th centuries. Commissioned by Sultan Mehmed II after the conquest of Constantinople, which is the modern day Istanbul, in 1453, it was initially named the New Palace and later became known as Topkapi, meaning Cannon Gate. Today it stands as a museum showcasing the opulence and history of the Ottoman Empire. This is a short walk from the Hagia Sophia, and when you enter the first gate, this is the first thing you see. This is actually an old Orthodox church known as Hagia Irene or Saint Irene. Saint Irene means holy peace. This is a former Eastern Orthodox church located in the outer courtyard of the palace in Istanbul. It is the oldest known church structure in the city and one of the only Byzantine churches in Istanbul that was never converted into a mosque, alongside the Church of Saint Mary of the Mongols. Saint Irene was used as an arsenal for storing weapons until the 19th century. The Hagia Irene now operates as a museum and concert hall. The building stands on the site of a pre-Christian temple. It is known as the first church completed in Constantinople before Hagia Sophia during its transformation from a Greek trading colony to the eastern capital of the Roman Empire. According to some tradition, but it's disputed by some scholars, the Roman Emperor Constantine I commissioned the first Hagia Irene church in the 4th century, which was completed by the end of his reign in 337. The main entrance to the Topkapi Palace complex is through the Imperial Gate. It stands across from the Hagia Sophia and the fountain of Sultan Ahmed III. The embellished and grand imperial gate of the palace marks the entrance to the first courtyard. It leads directly to the Hagia Sophia and then turns northwest towards the palace square to the fountain of Ahmed III. Through the imperial gate to the south of the palace, the Sultan would make their entry into the palace. Dating originally from 1478, the massive gate is now covered in 19th century marble. The first courtyard, also known as the Janissaries Court and the Parade Court, is the largest and most extensive of the palace's courtyards and is surrounded by high walls to function as the outer Prenector Park. Well-groomed Janissaries and court officials would line up the path. A Janissary was a member of the elite infantry units that formed the Ottoman Sultan's household troops. They were the first modern standing army and perhaps the first infantry force in the world to be equipped with firearms. As I had mentioned earlier, after the end of the Ottoman Empire in 1923, a government decree dated April 3, 1924, transformed Topkapi into a museum. Turkey's Ministry of Culture and Tourism now administers the Topkapi Palace Museum. From the 1460s to the completion of Dolbaci Palace in 1856, the Topkapi Palace served as the administrative center of the Ottoman Empire and was the main residence of its sultans. During the reign of the various sultans, it was expanded and renovated throughout its history, with each sultan adding their own structures and modifications to reflect their tastes, and the changing needs of the empire. Major renovations, of course, occurred after earthquake and fires. By the mid 19th century, the palace was deemed inadequate for state ceremonies and protocol, and that's how it led to the construction of the Dolbachi Palace on the Bosphorus. The Ottoman elite began to reside in Dolbachi while Topkapi Palace was used for other purposes. In 1985, the palace was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, recognizing its cultural and historical importance. The main thing to remember is that the palace includes four main courtyards: the Imperial Council Chamber, the harem, the treasury, and the sacred relics rooms, among other structures. The harem especially was the private living quarters of the Sultan, his family, and concubines. Today, the Topkapi Palace is a very popular tourist attraction, offering visitors a look into the opulent lifestyle of the Ottoman sultans and the rich history of the empire. Inside the palace, the former private chambers of the Sultan and the privy chambers, which are located in the third courtyard of the palace, they all contain many holy relics. The various relics of Muhammad, his followers, and other items associated with Muhammad were brought to the palace in Istanbul, where they remain to this day. I'll have another video on the holy relics coming up soon, but I did do a video on Hagia Sophia, so I'll go ahead and provide the link for that in the description of this video. Please do watch it, and I'll also do a video on the harem. All of this took several hours to visit, so I cannot do it all in one video because that would be just too long. I hope all of you enjoyed the video, and please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.